what I would really propose is that we all just face the fact that there is a continuum on which we all depend. You guys don't want to pay for the first few years. The law student cannot afford to pay for it himself or herself. The law school is not going to do anything revolutionary. If law firms or law department move glacially, you guys are inert, okay? So that ain't going to happen. We just have to face up to the fact that this continuum has to be on which we all depend, has to be a shared cost experience. I know that's talking filthy to you guys. Tom will remember, I think, chairing a meeting maybe a year ago where the same theme of not going to train them on my budget, etc. I was the only law firm person in the room. There must have been 100 senior counsel. And I simply asked the question, how many of you began your careers in law firms? Do you remember the response? Every hand, okay? Now, we're all dependent on that continuum, okay? Now, how are we going to do it? All right, I'm not going to write down any time and bill you for any first or second year associates. Does that mean that you're not going to pay for the cost of them? It doesn't mean that at all. They're going to be in our AFA proposals to you. It's going to be in the billing rates of more senior people. The nut has to be cracked one way or the other. Water finds its level. So let's just face the fact that these people, it's a little bit like a shared custody situation, you know? And then the final point is, I passed the bar when I was 30. And I felt that I was competing against babies, 24, 25 years old, when I went to the law firm. That extra 5 years of maturation and worldly experience having nothing to do with law, really. It's just becoming an adult decision maker and developing some fingertips for human beings. We got to get them there somehow or other on a shared custody basis.
We don't have to do it. The one variable that Pete didn't mention was partner incomes. So there are lots of ways to crack the nut, to use Pete's expression, and it does have to be paid for by somebody. And my goal is going to be to make you pay for it. Your goal is going to be to make me pay for it. Understand? Then that's perfectly fine.
Make other law firms pay. We morphed toward a diamond structure some time ago. And what it means is you change your model of hiring. You do more lateral associates, third, fourth year, the way you hire fourth or fifth year. You bring them in, and somebody else has paid for those highly inefficient years and have dealt with you folks writing off their time and so on and so forth. And that's my goal. It's sort of a survival of the fittest thing.
Isn't this again about the innovation of the model, though? I mean, so because earlier, Michael, you made the point that you're happy to pay more if you're getting better service. It's about how do you set yourself up to provide better service. And if you can provide better service and if you can provide value and quality, then what do you care about partner income?
Well, I didn't say I was happy to pay more. I said I was indifferent to partner income. Right? Not that I wanted to pay more, and there's a difference between the two. If the quality of service is there and it can be provided more efficiently by the law firm, and the law firm can make more money, it's not that I'm paying more. It's that I'm getting what I need for a price I consider fair, and they're getting and the partners are making more money.
Right, but isn't that the nut of the whole thing here? I mean, somebody's got to pay for it. If the law firm community can find a way to deliver it more effectively, more efficiently, in a way that you're happy with it, then you come to an arrangement where it works. Where you have a breakdown is where you're fundamentally unhappy with what you're getting, and that probably stems from an ineffective delivery process to you.
All I was going to say is that I think it shows why Pete's a good manager. He's trying to foist it onto somebody else.
Well,
what happens too is the free rider happens within the firm. If you have a 10-person firm, you train somebody, it's going to inure to your benefit. I train somebody, then they work for somebody else their next assignment and never see them again. And you have to create incentives within the firm to say, listen, everybody it's almost part of your capital contribution. You have to put some time in training. You have to put some money in training.
We're going to go ahead and wrap up. But I want to ask, as just kind of a closing question, just to quickly go down to the table. Very simple. Stick with Rich. It's 2015. We're 2 years into the next economic boom, and you're enjoying your nice little office. What's changed? What's different than it is today?
Law firms are smaller.
Very good.
Law firms are bigger.
The core law firm model has changed and innovated. It's become more customer-centric and more customer-friendly, and the ones that didn't have gone out of business.
I'm retired. I think law firms are more entrepreneurial, better managed, the survivors are better managed, and more work is moved in-house.
I think that there's going to be some new entrants that are not the large law firms that are going to be making more money than the traditional large law firms because they're going to embrace the commoditization movement.
Tom?
Law firms, law schools, and law departments are transparent and open and are built on relationships of trust.
Mark?
I would say career customization. No more lockstep, no more up or out, no more one-size-fits-all career. You're going to have a whole plethora, even individualized careers.
Recently, the Association of Corporate Counsel introduced a new online rating service called the Value Index. It is now a way for corporate counsel, probably not the people on the panel, but perhaps AGCs and others in the GC's office to evaluate both lawyers and firms. And I'm wondering, since this is now public within the general counsel community, if this is something that you all feel is a valuable piece of information. Is it interesting input relative to decision making, or do you think it is basically something that's going to undermine the basic valuation of law firms, attorneys, and the overall value proposition?
Well, I'll comment. I think it's a good first step to trying to gather more data to help us be more intelligent consumers. I think we have a long way to go, though, and so I don't see this again as a panacea or a solution, but it's a great first step.
In full disclosure, I am a member of the board of directors of ACC, so I think, Rich, what you said is exactly right. This is a step toward more transparency and more openness, but it's not, again, not a panacea.
Let's have a round of applause for our panelists, please.